So in chapter 5, we're playing on, how do I say this? So basically, we're basically in the 2018's eras, if I'm correct, when chapter 1 season 5 came out, I think. Which means chapter 5 is still either in 2018 or 2019 taking place at. And since I've been thinking about the time travel thing, about going back in the past, it should mean that Dr. Sloan is back in the IO. The 7 is not corrupted again, which is lovely. Which, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4 don't exist. Neo is the chapter 2 map, but chapter 5 looks so similar to chapter 2 for me. I don't know why. The codename of chapter 5 was called Helios, which is almost the same as the Apollo, which is also chapter 2's codename. And the reason why I'm making this video is because ever since chapter 5 began, the storyline has felt broken with the time travel stuff, because in chapter 5 season 2 we got the return of Midas, which we don't even know him. He should probably be alive. If I'm correct, the only person who has the memory of chapter 2 is Jonesy, since he's been on the chapter 1 map, chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 4, and now in chapter 5. And since we're like going back to chapter 2, which is called Remax, I'm like, even though I like chapter 2, I was like, how? Because didn't it got destroyed when it went back in time? And I was like, how? The Cube Queen, the hero, they are alive again. Like the last reality is still alive, but since time reset it, the IO Sloan, she's evil again, I guess. But at the same time, I question, was the past Jonesy? Like, what happened to him? Not to mention that the chapter 3 season 4 map is in the game files right now. The only thing I can think of that makes the return of Midas possible is that for us, not just saying, oh, it's the return of Midas, we can see him again in the crew. But what if Midas was already in the underworld before he became a agent or spy? And once he found like a crew, but at the same time it doesn't make sense, since if I'm correct, the crew remembers Midas when he came back in season 2, chapter 5. But let's say he was in the underworld in the past and he got saved and soon became a agent of like the touch and go agent, whatever you call him. It's either that Fortnite forgot the story that they went to the past, or they're doing it for a reason. Look, the way we get to chapter 2 is when we get to the event, it's gonna be confusing for me. I'm not sure, since it still hasn't happened yet. Since Jonesy is the only one who knows that chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4 existed. He's the only one who knows, since he was the one who went back in time from Sloan commands. Which we're about to have the false theory in the video is that Jonesy is gonna have a part of the event to take us back to chapter 2. That's the only thing I can think of. He's the only one I think of that can take us to chapter 2, one way or other. And I have another theory. What if when the Big Bang event happened, when the time machine was stripped, was connected to the rocket with just duct tape, which was very safe to do, Jonesy could probably put the time machine to take us back into the future when the Big Bang event happened, because no one knew what the time machine on the rocket was doing on it. Probably just to break it, so no one can use it again, but at the same time, Kalo Dawn, the one who previously had the time machine, might still have it in the past, because the past is, we went to the past. He probably sent the time machine to the future, let's say December 2024 or 2025, I don't know. And that's once the 0 point destroyed itself, causing the black hole and the Big Bang happened, the right thing, we were in the future again. Every chapter assisted. Chapter 1 in a corruption way, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4 all happen, and chapter 5 is the new map in the future. And let's just say chapter 4 is in space still. All is probably destroyed, probably let's say it's destroyed. And these are just theories, we might not even be in the past or in the future, probably just in the present time, which that does not make sense. Mostly chapter 4 and chapter 5 had the most confusing storyline I see right now. Since chapter 4, we didn't even get the storyline. Since I believe the first two the middle of the chapter, Mega and Wiles, they were supposed to be on the chapter 3 map, which probably confused me the most since the storyline just been broken. Like, I never understood it after that. Now we're 1 week away from the new season, Remix Chapter 2. I'll probably make other video about the storyline when Chapter 2 gets here, cause I need the event for more information, which I'm probably gonna say the last theory about. My last theory is about the last reality, the cubes monsters, and the Cube Queen will return. Since I should have an image in the screen right now. When the content creators got the boxes for Remix 2, the inside of it kind of looks like the sideways. The sideways from chapter 2 season 8. It looks like gold, purple, and half red. However you say it. And there was also a rift butterfly in the box, which the only time, if I'm correct, we saw a rift butterfly in chapter 2 was in season 5 when Chelsea became one, when the 0 point was changing realities, and chapter 2 season 8 when the wrath of the queen, or Cube Queen, however the trailer was, it showed a rift butterfly going into the sideways and getting crushed in the end by the Cube Queen. That was a nice butterfly to live and die. Like, they could be teasing, even though they might not, the return of the queen. That's all I'm gonna say. We still need the 0 point, since the 0 point hasn't been shown in the whole chapter. Like, no 0 point stuff. Just the Greek mythology stuff, which is Pandora's box. Now, I'm not the one to make these types of videos, story related and theories videos. This is the first time I have done something like this. But I wanted to make a video about this. If y'all don't understand what I just said about the storyline being broken, my fault or your fault. I'll definitely make another video about this in the future after the event. If you want to ask me questions, just go to the comments and ask me anything.